There you go. And that is not a virtual background Dick Lee has behind him.
It's,
It's the real deal.
these are real here. Look at this.
Hi, Susan. Thank you for jumping on. I really appreciate your time. I think all of us do. So glad you're here. Wow, I've got Mr. John Yen Wong on the line. What an honor, sir. How are
Doing
you?
well, Tom. Thank you very much. I'm feeling a tad under the weather, so I'm going to stay with not going live with a photo. So
I love it. I love it. I love it. Excuse
just
the background. I'm myself every time I'm not talking. I'm at a construction website. I'm wrapping up renovations here in beautiful Southborough. But hopefully you guys can still hear me clearly. Look at all these beautiful faces. Happy holidays to everyone. Love it. I've seen some new faces too. Some old faces. Donna, Alan, Jay Flores, glad to see you here. I saw you yesterday, didn't I? In New York. I love it. Godfrey Wallace, welcome to the call. Kristen Miller, welcome to the call. Where are you calling in from, Kristen? Ron, welcome to the call. I saw you yesterday in New York. Same thing with Mike Levy. Love it. Kristen, where are you calling in from? Nope.
There we go. Okay, I'm so sorry. Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia. All right. So you're a part of
Thank you.
you work with
Eric,
Dan Barrett, I assume.
Eric Clark and Keith Andrews.
Eric Clark. All right. I love it.
Yeah.
Commercial in the house. We've got
Mhm.
Caesar Cepeda, who's also commercial in the house. Craig Caggiano, love to see you here, man, from all the way from New Jersey. Alan, of course, John from San Francisco. Samantha, get ready to go live on our YouTube channel, okay? I know you're recording already, so get ready to go live. And actually, I don't think live right now, Samantha. Tell me when you're ready, and I'll welcome everybody, and off we go because we want to start right on time. We've got a lot of cover with you today. Very excited about to the year end and what's to come in 2025. Sam, are we good? Samantha?
Yep, we are live, Tom.
We are live. All right, guys. So we're live on our YouTube channel, my YouTube channel. I'm sure you guys all know it. If not, you can Google it and you'll find it. So, guys, welcome to the call. This is our bi-monthly Power Hour Agent Attraction Training call. My name is Tom Truong. I am here, of course, now 7 years with EXP. Love it. Can't see myself doing anything else other than changing real estate agents' lives through sharing this program with the world. And today we have a very special guest, Susan McLean. Before I get into that, I want to share something with you. Think about this for a second. The holidays are coming up, right? And have you ever noticed that we do not listen to the people we are closest to? Right? I've got kids, and man, I tell my kids this, that, and the other, and they just don't listen to me sometimes. But then they go out to the streets, they hear it from a stranger, and then they come home and they say, Dad, guess what? Guess what I heard? Who's felt that before? Who's experienced that before? Okay. So this is why we bring in special guests like Susan. I've been sharing some of the stuff with you guys for a very long time, but maybe sometimes you just need to hear it from somebody else. Once you hear from somebody else, you then decide to own the topic. Hey, that person made a lot of sense, right? And that's why Susan's on the call today. This call is all about agent attraction, but I'll close it out with this and then I'll pass it over to Susan. Remember, we're going into the holidays. We're here at the holidays. My kids are home from college. One is home. The other one's coming home in a few days. And you guys are going to be around the closest people to you. Here's my ask of you. Please listen to them. Please spend some quality time with them. Please don't dismiss what they're saying because those just might be some good stuff that you are missing because they are closest to you and you've ignored them the most. All right. That's my holiday greetings to you. With that, I'd like to introduce Susan McLean. Susan is our Vice President of Retention. She has helped me, Marissa, many of you, many times with your agent attraction, with getting you reports, this and the other. And we've invited Susan on today to share with us best practices, what's going on with agent attraction, and really fire us up. And also share with you some of the tools that are available for agent attraction. I'm sure she's got a lot to cover. So without further ado, Susan Klein, the floor is
Thank you, Tom.
yours.
Thanks, everyone. I'm super excited to be here. You guys are out there every day growing your organization, growing your business, growing the company, and I'm so honored to spend a few minutes with you all here today. And Tom, I'm glad you actually started by, saying sometimes we just need to hear something from someone else, right? And so I used to, and I say this, I still say it a lot, but I used to say it a lot in my previous life running a different brokerage. But I would say, you know what, it's one thing to say that, oh, I know something, right? Like, an agent would come in and say, what's the Tuesday meeting about, Susan? And I would say, whatever, gaining more listings, right? Whatever the subject was. And they would go, oh, I already know that. And I would say them, I would usually stop them and say, okay, hold on. Do you know it, or are you experiencing it in your business? Because those are two different things, right? We all know a lot, but we're not always experiencing everything in our business and in our lives. So hopefully you'll take at least one thing today out of what we're going to talk about. So I'm actually going to share my screen here because we are going to talk about actually 3 different things. Oh, hold on. You don't want to see that link. I need to show you this link. There we go. All right, let me make this a little bit bigger. Hold on, I got to move our faces. Here we go, present. All right, so we're going to talk about 3 different things today. We're going to talk about attraction. We're also going to talk about retention, and I'm going to give you a sneak peek of something that's near and dear to my heart that we're going to be launching in Q1 for team leaders. So before we dive in, I want to ask you guys a question, and I want actually a couple questions, and I want you to think about this. Looking back over 2024, are you completely satisfied with what you did to grow your business? So I want you to put that in the chat. Put it in the chat, put a yes or a no. I am completely satisfied, Susan, with what I did to grow my organization in 2024. Or I don't know, maybe I'm not quite completely satisfied, right? All right, so we've got, nope, not 100%, nope, not at all. All right, right? And that's a normal response, right? Because life gets in the way and there's just so many things that we can focus on. Now I want to ask you another question. Oh, hold on, there we go. Do you feel like you gave your all to retaining your agents, ensuring that they felt supported and connected, right? So did you do everything to grow your organization, and did you do everything possible to make sure your agents feel supported, right? And that's the retention side of that. And if you said no, that's okay. I want you to think about, what would you do differently? What do you want to do differently in 2025? Today, we're going to talk about a couple things that you might want to add to your, your daily to-dos that can make a difference in your retention and in your attraction with your organization. So I heard Leo Perea, our fabulous CEO, say something. He said it to me a couple times, and I've probably said it 100 times. So he said it. I've told him that over and over. I'm like, I use that quote all the time. So he said EXP 1.0 was all about the model, right? It was about stock and rev share and the comp plan. And because no one ever had that, right? We were completely, redesigning what real estate looked like. So 1.0 was all about the model. EXP 2.0 is us helping you operationalize your business. And so think about what we've launched recently, right? How many do you think, I want you to guess here, how many initiatives, programs, big announcements have we launched just since EXPCon? How many do you think we've launched? And what was it, like 6 weeks? I was shocked by this number. Anyone have a guess? All right, 15, 6 or more. Yep. Oh, you're pretty close. We've launched 10. All right, we've launched 8. We've launched 8 new things since EXPCon. Does that just blow your mind? Right? That was like 6 weeks ago. We have 8 new things that we can plug agents into, 8 new things that we can attract to, 8 new things that we can retain our agents if we know about them, right? So what are some of the things that we've launched? We've launched the Icon Incentive, the Capping Incentive, Canva Pro, Sisu for everyone, right? You get Sisu and you get Sisu and we all get Sisu. The local sponsor program, Lux VT, right? We purchased Lux VT. Yesterday, we just launched an live agent startup sessions in all 50 states. We launched the Built program. We have so many things that we're rolling out to help our agents and help us to operationalize your businesses. And that is huge. And by the way, we have so many more things coming in Q1. Now, a question I get all the time is, where do I find all of this, right? So I'm going to give you a couple things. One thing that you can go to now, which is the US Agent Center, but then I'm going to talk about something that we're launching in Q1, and it's the EXP Value Explained Toolkit. So we get, again, that question of where can I find all of this stuff? So we're actually designing a toolkit for all of our value proposition. But if you think about everything that we've launched here over the last 6 weeks or so, this right now is creating massive opportunity for us to attract teams and brokerages. And so if there's anything that I've seen as part of the growth team and part of, leading the way for growing and retaining agents in our organizations, it's teams and brokerages right now are the biggest opportunity for us. Yes, we still have all of the individual agents coming over, but all of the things that we're launching to help you operationalize your business has created a massive opportunity. And teams and brokerages, they don't just need a good model, right? They need tools, they need systems, they need resources. We're not just offering them a place to hold their license, we're offering them a way to make their business scalable, right? To grow the business, to operationalize it. So if your value proposition is still about rev share and stock, right? And on all of the 1.0, pieces of the model, then what it's becoming is kind of a race to the bottom, right? Like who can shave $5 off their fees? We don't want that. We want to make sure that we're educating, especially these large teams and brokerages, how we can help them grow their business. We're giving them that infrastructure. So if you think about all of the other companies, right? The copy and paste companies, right? The ones that say, oh, we have rev share too, we have stock too. They're all in that 1.0 phase of their business. They're still trying to figure out, how do we pay people? How do we scale? How do we have the right staffing? We've passed all of that already. So we actually we did a panel. Who was at EXPCon? Raise your hand. We actually did and I hid all of our little faces so I could see our slides. But we actually did a panel, and it was a panel on boomerang agents. So did anyone attend that panel? I know I saw a few of your faces there. Yep. So we had some agents that left and came back to EXP, and it's so funny. They were all saying the same thing. They were saying, number one was, my gosh, I just couldn't get paid, right? And at EXP, we get paid within minutes. Like 68% of the time, we're paid within like 14 minutes, something like that. Don't quote me on that, but it's really close to that. But then we get paid within minutes. It was there to help me, right? We heard that one a lot. I felt like I went back in time, right? That's another one that we hear from our agents that left to go to a different brokerage and came back. I was just going back in time, right? We have so many people here to support your business. It's just making sure that you know who to tap into, who you can reach out to for that support that you need. So let's talk for a second about what teams and brokerages need. So if you're going to focus on getting some key teams and key brokerages over to EXP in 2025, let's talk about what they need for a second. So I'll go first. Number one, they need some recruiting systems, right? They need systems to help them grow and scale their organization or their team. So what do we have to help our teams and brokerages grow their organizations, grow their teams? What do we have? Put it in the chat. Unmute. Tom, you're unmuted.
We have team services and team support, the hotline there. So if team leader has any challenges whatsoever, there's no dumb questions that they can go there and get the questions answered.
Yeah.
And get some direction.
Yep, exactly. We also have a growth and attraction toolkit that can help them with everything that they would need: scripts, videos, dialogues, anything like that they can use to grow their team, their organization. my opinion, one of the most important things that we've added just in the past like 3 months is we've added a regional growth director in every region. So they can now get support, live boots on the ground support, who know their local markets, who know the agents, who know the players. And that, to me, I've seen a huge, huge increase in agents who are saying, you know what, now's the time for me to recruit because I have someone that I can contact who knows my state, who knows my market, who knows the players and can help me. So, and we're putting a lot of really cool things in place in 2025 to help with growing teams, growing organizations. By the way, I can't keep up with chat. So Tom, Marissa, if someone sees something I need to answer, please let me know.
You got it. They're commenting that Dick Lee says we've got direct access to Leo and Glenn. We've got an amazing growth team to support us. So good stuff. And thank you, Eric, for the shout out. Eric says we have Alpha Tom Truong.
And somebody also said, someone also said we have unlimited training.
Yes, we do. And so there's a really cool, and I don't want to give it away because it's not mine to give away, but there's a really cool thing coming in Q1 to help anyone that wants to get better at attraction and scripts, dialogues. I mean, everything and the actionable steps, right? So think about FastCap, right? Think about what FastCap did to our real estate training on how to go get, sales and buyers and sellers. We're putting the same thing together for the attraction side. So super, super cool things coming. Okay, so they need recruiting systems. I mentioned the second one, they need training systems, right? So FastCap is a huge one. Sisu, right? A place to track their business and to track their conversion rates. So something I taught for years was contacts, appointments, contracts, and closings. Those are the 4 things you should keep track of in your business, right? Somewhere along that line, we all need help. So Sisu gives them the ability to track their business, and then FastCap gives a massive accountability to increase their production. Why do teams and brokerages care about this? It takes the weight off of the team leader, right? So there was a brokerage that we were talking to a couple months ago, talking about bringing their brokerage over. And we started talking about FastCap. And the broker owner goes, like, hold on. And we started talking about some of the results that we've gotten, right? So 109 agents went through that first cohort, ended up signing 223 contracts, I think, by the end of 6 weeks. And he said, so you have FastCap, and that means I don't have to do that with my agents anymore. I don't have to hold them accountable, and how many contacts did you make? Like, we're going to do that for you. And we said, yes. And he said, well, I'm bringing my brokerage over. So they're in the process of bringing their brokerage over right now. And the thing that sealed the deal was FastCap. So think about what we can take off of their plate, right, to help them to get their agents plugged in.
Susan, might I comment on this? I want to make sure you guys heard what Susan said there. 109 agents went through the FastCap program. In 6 weeks, they put 223 transactions in play. These are rookie agents. These are agents who don't do much real estate. And in 6 weeks, they averaged over 2 transactions per agent. Now, I would venture to contract signed, right? And I would venture to say, we have the Pareto rule, right? Maybe the 80-20 rule, that maybe the 20% of them did extremely well because they plugged in and they really did the homework and they really had an accountability partner and had themselves hold accountable. So I've heard agents, I have an agent in our own organization, went through the FastCap program, 6 transactions in play in those 6 weeks. And prior to that, the well was dry, guys. So make sure you guys take full advantage of that FastCap and promote it. We're like selling out all the time, right? So you got to really register.
Every single session. Yeah. And we're doubling the sessions. So starting in January, we're going to have 2 sessions every month because it sells out every time. And it's free, you guys. There's no cost to take FastCap, right? It's incredible what we're able to offer without any additional cost. So training programs, they need marketing, right? We have Canva that we just launched. What else do they need? Compliance, right? Who wants to be the one with the legal hat on all the time? It's hard, especially in the era that we're in right now, right? With all the different lawsuits. So we take that compliance completely off their plate. So, think about the things that we can remove from like those obstacles that we can remove and how we can help those teams and brokerages to grow and scale and put different, different systems in place. And that in itself, that is the biggest piece of opportunity that I see at EXP in 2025 is really focusing on those teams and brokerages and helping them grow and scale. So looking at who we're talking to as a brokerage, the number of teams and brokerages that have raised their hand and come to us and said, hey, I'd like to talk about what it would look like for, for us to grow together next year has increased dramatically. So when you approach those teams and brokerages and you're having conversations about how EXP helps them run their business better, make sure to share some stories of the teams and brokerages that have come over, right? So this is social proof. Social proof is so important when talking to anyone. So if you look at who's joined us in 2024, we have some huge teams and brokerages that came over. So Matt Feddick did 116 million last year. Matt Delhoun did 353 million. We have Chantel Ray, she brought her brokerage over. Brandon Brittingham did 228 million, last year. Joshua Smith, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But I'll tell you, attraction has more to do with you than the person that you're talking to, right? It's absolutely 100% your energy, your mindset, and your confidence. Those are the things that are drawing people to you. So if we look at, the real estate market, it is the hardest market. This year, 2024, was the hardest market since 1995. Right? Think about that. And so if it's hard, it's a hard market. We all know that, right? Less transactions sold in 2024. It's hard to have confidence during a down market, right? Because we think, well, our business is down. We hear negativity, right? We hear negativity from other agents. We hear negativity in the news. We hear all of these negative things. And it's really easy to kind of second guess yourself and to buy into that negativity. So I recently did one of our executive master classes, and I did it on, it was mastering the mental edge in real estate is what it was. And I'll tell you, one of the things that I kept going back to over and over in this class was to attract the best, you have to become the best version of yourself. If you look at the agents that attracted some of these big players, right? They work constantly on their mindset. They work constantly on, how they show up, on that self-talk, on their belief system, on what they're, envisioning in their lives and in their careers. So there's two things that I want you to focus on. When you think about attraction for 2025, focus on two things. One is your belief system, because I will tell you what you believe about EXP will shape how you talk about it, right? So if you think that EXP is the absolute best platform for teams and brokerages, and you know that without a doubt, and you have the pathway, right, to help teams and brokerages grow, you deeply understand why we are the best place for teams and brokerages and agents, right? Please, as I say teams and brokerages over and over, I don't mean ignore the agents, right? I'm just saying if you're going to focus on something in 2025 and put some effort into it, I'm seeing a lot of opportunity for us there. But if you believe that, that belief will come through in every single conversation that you have. So think about what you believe about yourself, about EXP, about your business, right? And if you need to start changing that self-talk, right, about, yourself, your business, EXP, right? Start thinking about and paying attention to the things that you're saying in your mind, because sometimes we will insert our own selves into someone else's story. So if your business wasn't everything that you wanted it to be this year, sometimes you might put your business into the story of someone else. Your belief system starts to seep in. So pay attention to those things that you're saying. And the key is to create new reference points for your brain to attach to, right? So you think about some of the players that came over, Brandon Brittingham or Matt Feddick. Think about them coming over and all the other ones that we talked about. As you remember all of these teams and brokerages that join EXP, you're creating these new reference points for your brain. And again, it's that social proof. So think about those stories and use those stories. And then the second thing I'll tell you is to emotionalize your intentions. And this is a game changer, and it sounds very frou-frou. I know. Give me a second, I promise. But this is a game changer. So visualize the kinds of agents and teams and brokerages that you want to attract and picture them coming over, right? Picture them joining your organization. Think about the impact that those teams and brokerages and agents are going to have, not just on your business, but on their business, right? And that energy and that clarity, that will drive your actions and will actually help you to attract the teams and brokerages that look like the ones that you want to bring into your organization. And I'll tell you what, Harvard did a really cool study on this. It was quite a few years ago, but they brought in two groups of people and they said, okay, we're going to teach you both groups how to play the piano. So they came in, the instructors, they taught them how to play the piano. And so at the end of the session, they sent both groups home. And one group, they practiced on a piano, right? Like normal. But the other group, they practiced only by closing their eyes and seeing themselves playing the piano, right? That's the only way that they practiced. And at the end of that study, they brought both groups back. And what they found was hardly any difference in how much they retained and what their results were. And that is because the brain literally cannot tell the difference between something real and something that's vividly imagined, right? So when you vividly imagine the types of agents and teams and brokerages that you want to bring into your business, your brain starts to hold on to that. And it actually, what it does is it believes that it owns that goal, right? It's a goal and your brain starts to believe that it owns it, and it tries to desperately hold on to that goal, and it's called the endowment effect. So there was a really cool study with chocolate bars and coffee mugs that proved that when our brain thinks that we own something, your brain will do absolutely everything it can to hold on to that goal. So as you're envisioning the types of teams and agents that you want to bring on, and you're seeing that play out in your imagination, closing your eyes, your brain starts to see, okay, how can I make this real because of the endowment effect? So it's actually really super cool. I love it if you can't tell. So attraction starts with you. And when you show up with that passion and confidence, people will naturally want to follow you. All right, now we're going to talk about retention. So part 2 is retention. We can bring all the agents in, but we have to make sure that we're keeping them here. So we know that one of the best things we can do as a leader is to understand what motivates our agents in their real estate career. Who wants to be a ninja? Anyone want to be a ninja? I want to be a ninja, right? And I'll tell you, one of the best things you can do to be a ninja leader with your organization is to understand what motivates your agents. There are 3 primary motivators of real estate agents. One is money, one is personal achievement, and the third one is helping others. And this is a secret weapon. I promise you, it's a secret weapon. So identify what motivates your agents in your organization. And you can do this by simply asking them, right? You can just say, hey, Tom, as we're doing our little weekly check-in, how's business going? Hey, if you had to pick one of these 3 things that motivates you, money, personal achievement, or helping others, what do you think it is?
Great question to ask. For me, it's all 3, I think. Not I think. For me, it's all 3, I know.
If you had to pick one.
If I had to pick one in this stage of my life, helping others.
I love it. I love it. All right. So if you ask them, and it's a very simple question, and if they say it's more than one of them, just make them choose one, right? Pay attention to what they're saying too, because a lot of times you're going to understand what their primary motivator is just by the things that they're saying, right? So, Tom and I are having a discussion and he's talking about how he wants to bring all the agents up, underneath of him and making sure that they feel loved and supported and, whatever he's creating, right? And I know by the way that he's talking, his primary motivation is helping others. So a lot of times you can figure that out just by what they're saying. But then if you tailor your approach, so all of the things that, the communication. So, hey, Tom, I've got this really cool thing that EXP launched. I don't know if you've heard about it, but it's this really cool program. And by the way, I think if you paid attention to this program or signed up for this program, I think it might help you help more people in your organization. Does that sound like something you'd, be interested in?
Sounds like it's right up my alley. I can't wait to hear all about it.
Right. So as you are understanding their motivation, you're customizing the way that you support them. You're customizing the way that you speak with them. What you're doing is you're kind of like speaking to their soul, right? I mean, this is what drives them. It's what gets them out of bed every single day. And if you understand that, oh my goodness, the relationships that you're going to have, the trust that you're going to have with them, I can't even tell you. So money is one of the motivators, right? And so it's one of the most powerful motivators, actually. And it's not good or bad. Some people don't want to say that they're motivated by money because they think it sounds bad, but it's not. I promise you. Sometimes it's it's the financial success that actually drives them to do things like create other business opportunities and bring others up with them as their business is growing. So being motivated by money is not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just one of the motivators. But when an agent's motivated by money, helping understand, by the way, it's not, when I say money, it's not just splits and commissions. A lot of times it's what that money represents. It's the security, it's the opportunities, it might be the freedom, right? That, having whatever amount of money that they're looking for, that means to them. But ask your agents who are driven by money, what does financial success look like to you? And the answer that they give you will tell you how to help them thrive, right? So, financial success could mean starting a team, right? And helping others. But their answer will tell you how to help them. You can also show your agents how to maximize their earning potential within EXP. So it could be, of course, the revenue share and the stock and all of the things we know about, but it could be referrals, agent referrals. I think that one is probably really underutilized. Maybe it's my link, my lead, right? Helping them understand that. It could be helping them understand the mentor program and how they can earn money as a mentor. Utility Connect and America's Preferred Home Warranty, they can earn rev share, through those two programs. So making sure that they know all of the different ways that they can earn money at EXP. And when they hit a financial milestone, make sure that you're celebrating it with your agents. And then keep an eye out for signs that they might be questioning their financial path. So if they start asking questions about fees or splits, it's a great time to sit down and have a conversation, talk about the bigger picture, but also get me involved, right? If you've got someone that you think might be at risk of leaving, loop me in, loop someone on my team in, and we'll be there to help support them too. So money is a primary motivator. Personal achievement is another primary motivator. So I skipped the slide, but whatever. So have you ever met an agent whose face you talk about the leaderboard and their face just lights up, right? Like, oh my gosh, yes, every month I'm checking the leaderboard to see where I am. Or the top 250 are announced and they're just beside themselves. Or even the EXP Life monthly recognition by state, right? There's all kinds of things that we do to recognize our agents. And if you have agents who are motivated by personal achievement, and by the way, these typically tend to be our high achieving individual agents. They are on their own for a reason, right? They love being on their own. They love being celebrated. And so those high producing individual agents typically are motivated by personal achievement, but they love a challenge. Like you put any kind of a challenge in front of them and I've got it, right? So encourage them to kind of, spread their wings a little bit. Maybe it's luxury, could just be growing their business or mentoring others, but they absolutely love a challenge and they love to be recognized, right? We all love to hear our name as human beings. But if you've got someone driven by personal achievement and you say their name in a meeting or on a social post or in your group chat or whatever it is, oh my goodness, right? They will absolutely be in love with you. So think about those achievement-driven agents in your downline and, ask them what goals are they working on right now and how can you support them? And then lastly, it's helping others, right? So this is the last of the three motivators. And some agents don't just want to succeed, they want to help others succeed right alongside them, right? So it's just not the same if they're in it by themselves. They want people standing next to them succeeding as well. So when I think about the people motivated by helping others, a lot of times those are our team leaders. Our team leaders, a lot of them love to help others. And so that's why they actually have a team. So if you ask a lot of our team leaders, why did you start a team? They're not going to say for money. They're not going to say for more production. They're going to say, I kind of stumbled into it because I had, Bob over here, and Bob asked if I could help him. And of course, I'm going to say yes, right? So they kind of accidentally grew a team. So they love helping others. And so make sure that they understand the ways that they can help others. So again, it could be mentoring. It could be just sharing their knowledge. It could be leading different initiatives in your organization. But if you can get them to help, show their true colors by helping others in your organization, they absolutely love it. They love collaboration opportunities. So a mastermind, a group training, anything like that, again, they're going to fall in love with that. And then celebrate their role as mentors and team leaders and, culture builders. They love to be recognized, but make sure that you're recognizing them for what they love doing. If you say, you know what, Tom, you love helping others, but you sold $1 million in, real estate last month, Tom's going to go, great, thanks. But if you say, Tom, you helped 4 families or 3 families, move into the house of their dreams last month. That is so cool. Tom's going to light up because you're speaking to him the way that, that he loves to be, to show up as a person in his real estate business. All right, last thing I've got for you. And then if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Team Leader Academy. So I told you I'm going to give you a sneak peek of something coming in 2025. So in Q1, we are launching Team Leader Academy. And Tom, Marissa, I'll send you the slides and you'll have the link to all of this. But Team Leader Academy is launching. So what it is, we're partnering with some EOS implementers. Does anyone know what EOS is? EOS is the Entrepreneur Operating System. This is it's a way to run a business is what it is. It's not attached to real estate. There are thousands of companies that run on EOS. The last brokerage that I ran the brokerage on EOS. So I've run a real estate brokerage under it. I know what it's capable of. It's a very, very cool platform and way to run a business. So we're bringing in EOS implementers to teach our team leaders how to run a business using the EOS system. So they're going to learn how to, get everyone on the team aligned with the team vision. They're going to learn accountability, but not accountability of you go do this, right? It's accountability of everyone on the team has a number. And when everyone on the team has a number, it's really easy to see who's not rowing in the same direction and who might need some help. So they're going to help understand how to make decisions from data, right? Process documentation to scale your team, problem-solving framework. So they're going to get all of this through EOS implementers. We're also going to work with all of our team leaders on coaching, right? So we're going to give them a 7-step coaching framework. We're going to give them a retention toolkit that is almost done. We're going to give them an attraction toolkit specifically for them to help them learn how to grow their team. And then after they graduate, they're going to get a 32-week team member playbook. So they can give that playbook to their team members, plug them in, and it's everything that a team member should be doing to grow their real estate business. So they're going to get that 32-week team member playbook. There's also some opportunities for EXP to help those certified teams grow their teams. So if you want to be notified when we open registration for Team Leader Academy, there's a link right there. Again, I'll send this over to Tom and Marissa. Just sign up and then someone will reach out to you when we launch it. There will be a charge for this class because of EOS. We're paying EOS, but by the way, we have negotiated a huge discount. I can't tell you what the official charge is just yet because we're still in the final steps, but it's nothing extraordinary, I promise. But there is going to be a charge for Team Leader Academy because of everything that you're getting through EOS. Okay, I just said a lot of words. So I'm going to stop talking and see if there's any questions, attraction, retention, anything that I can help you guys with.
That was powerful. So many golden nuggets. Come on, folks. Go ahead and raise your hand. Open up your mic. Michael Levy, go ahead.
Hi.
By the way, Michael
Hi,
Levy just joined us. I think, Susan, you know that. He brought his brokerage over. 4 offices in New York, and here he is running a mega team and doing agent attraction. Go ahead, Mike.
Thank you so much. Great job, Susan. And by the way, many of the agents on this call are in my organization, so I appreciate all of you guys for joining us today. So excellent. All right. So I am trying to recruit brokers and teams with some of my team members, and so this is like a little bit of a multifaceted question. What is the biggest objection that you hear from brokers and teams as to why they do not want to join EXP, and how do you overcome that? And some of the things that I have heard from brokers and teams are things like, well, we've been in our location for 40 years. We're the second generation now, and we're really not interested in making any changes. Or, oh, that's a multi-level marketing company. I'm really not interested in doing that. I don't really want to grow my team. I've had my 4 agents here, for 10 years, and I'm very happy with my 4 agents, and I'm not interested in growing. So those are some of the things that I've heard. How do you overcome those kind of things?
Yeah, so that's a great question, Michael. And I'll tell you, when you asked that question, I wrote down the word control. And more than anything, they feel like when they make a transition, they're going to give up control of whatever it might be, right? Their brand, signing off on listing, documents. It's now going to be the DMB that signs off. There's just a lot when it comes to running a brokerage and even running a large team. I don't get that. We don't get that from large team leaders as much as we do from broker owners, but broker owners, it has a lot to do with that control piece. So helping them understand that a lot of those fears of giving up control are just that, they're fears, right? And so it's, you may not have to sign a listing contract and think about the things that you can do with all of the time now, right? And I remember when I ran a brokerage back in the days of like paper contracts, right? I would come into a stack of listing contracts and, whatever contracts, mutual releases that I had to sign, and the amount of time sitting there signing that. Well, we're going to take all that off your plate. We're going to take the liability off your plate. We're going to take all of this. But if you can help them understand the things that they think they're giving up, and a lot of times it's that mindset versus what they're going to get back. And again, what's their primary motivation? Is it money? Is it personal achievement? Is it helping others? And if you can understand that about your prospect, that's going to be a key decision maker for them to move forward. Oh, by the way, you mentioned location. So we did launch something recently, and it was a very soft launch. But if you have someone with brick and mortar, and that's an issue for them, or they're thinking, well, I can't give it up because I'm in a lease or whatever it might look like, reach out to me because we actually have a new platform that might help them. It's called Custom Service Fee, but reach out to me, do a connection, send me a message on Workplace, and we can chat about that, whether that might be a good solution for their brick and mortar location.
Susan, Eric Clark, Atlanta, Georgia, a question for you. I missed the first 5 minutes of the call. I apologize. Tell me, just 20-second recap your story of where you came from, size of your brokerage, et cetera.
So I'm VP of Agent Success at EXP currently. I've been in real estate for 20 years. The last, I did a short stint at RE/MAX as director of growth for them for the Midwest region. But prior to that, I ran a Century 21 franchise. So it was the #6 franchise in the world. I was VP of sales for that franchise. So
how many agents?
21, 350.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Plenty of time left, folks. Let's hear your comments, questions. Nothing, no silly questions. Go ahead, guys. Go ahead, Eric.
If Susan would put her email address and maybe phone number, if she would, in the chat, would be great. Thanks.
Absolutely. You guys can also find me on Workplace. I will give you my cell phone. It's not attached to EXP. I've had this number for 20 plus years, probably. I am on Eastern time and I go to bed at 9. FYI.
Wow.
If you're on Pacific time and you text me at 6, I'll text you back the next morning.
I see Marissa with her mic open, and then Riss Morris. Your mic is open. Maybe Riss, welcome to EXP. Riss just came. Riss is a boomerang agent, Susan, who came back from one of our competitors. Want to say hello, Riss, and share with us a little bit of who you are and why you came back?
Yes. So good morning. I'm in California. So for the last 25 years, my focus was lending. Managing director for Union Bank, ran lending here in California for the last 10 years, but really wanted the freedom what real estate offers me because I have a focus on international business as well. And I'm really, really excited because the reason that I came to EXP and left the competitor was because I want to learn. And you can't take for granted the fact that I have an MBA, a law degree, 25 years of lending experience, done over $500 million in lending every single year for the last 10 years, that I understand real estate, because I don't. And so thanks to Tommy, I am now partnered with Michelle Wynn, who's detail-oriented. We call ourselves the yin and the yang, because I'm a talker and she's a detail-oriented person. So I recommend to anybody who starts this business is make sure that you're humble. You understand what you can do, and you reach out and you make sure that you partner with people who can actually make you better. And that's so my selling point is, hey, you know what? I got 25 years of lending. I can tell you whether you qualify or not, but I also have an expert in real estate. And so we make sure that we make a great partnership.
All right,
I love that. And that's great. And you're right. And Reese, I'll tell you, that's why we kind of started this conversation with it's not what you know, it's what you're experiencing. And you know a lot, look at everything that you've accomplished. And that's super, super cool. And that gives you a different value proposition to your clients, way different than anyone else. But it's what you're experiencing. And so I love that you've partnered with someone else to really help that experience level. That's super cool.
Hey, let's go around the horn here, and I'd love to get your feedback, your comments about what would you say, what would be an opening script, an opener at these holiday parties that we're going to, at these get-togethers, at these company functions and stuff, where we might be invited to somebody else's company. Let's go around the horn, and whoever has an idea, there's no wrong answers. What might be a good opener? Most agents, when they run into each other at events, they might open up by saying, hey, how's business? How are things going with you? Start with that as an opener. What would you say in response? Go ahead, Eric Clark. And I want to hear from the rest of us.
Yeah, recently I saw Jim Hong do this in North Carolina. He just started talking about how we're connecting platforms and we're bringing added value to other groups by connecting platforms. And I've been using that same line as I've been talking to everybody. It really diffuses the conversation. No one feels like you're EXPing all over everybody. It's been a beautiful way to start the conversation. I love it.
Thank you very much. I love it. Alan, Annie.
I like the line that Leo is using to describe EXP 2.0 because I think that's what's going to differentiate us from everybody else who's trying to attract people. The quote that I heard at EXPCon came from Glenn, and he did it in a stream of consciousness thing, but I think it's the most profound thing I heard the whole week. He said at EXP, we're always in beta. Everything is always in development. Everything is always being made better. And that to me is profound.
And that's, I can tell you 100% on sitting on the leadership team, well, that is 100% correct. So every quarter we go away as a leadership team and we say, okay, what do we need to work on? What do we need to change, do differently? All of the things that you ask yourself in your business. And that is 1000% the way that we operate. And Tom, I'm going to answer your question. So if you don't have this book, Power Questions, highly recommend you get it. It's Andrew Sobel and Gerald Panas, P-A-N-A-S. So fabulous book. When Tom said, what questions would you ask them? This one, any question in this book, basically.
All right. If anyone's looking to buy me a Christmas gift, there you go. I wouldn't mind having several so I can give it to our leaders. Thank you, Susan. Power Questions. Love it. All right, folks, what else you got on your mind? We got just 10 minutes left here. And Susan, if you've got to run, I totally get it, but I do appreciate your time being here with us. really powerful group here. We got 45 people on the call on a holiday, going into the holiday week. That's amazing. You know what that tells me, folks? That tells me that you guys are out there, you are working it, and you are you're excited about agent attraction. Mr. John Wong, please feel free to open up your mic and ask away.
Yeah, thank you, Susan. This question may be a little granular, but it's something Tom and I have talked about for a long time. And that's really, especially if you're talking to a small brokerage or newer agent, there's a lot of anxiety because of the changes of how we interact with our buyer clients. And some of the things that EXP has done is really be a thought leader and actually taking some strong actions on that relationship between the buyer. And that's probably for a smaller brokerage, something that's on everybody's mind. How do we handle that? And if EXP in its support helps with that, I think that would be a no-brainer as far as taking anxiety off the plate for especially a smaller brokerage. So is there discussion on the broad training level of how we actually leverage the changes in the industry because we bring more value in the relationship to the buyers and the sellers from a commission standpoint?
Yeah. And John, I think that when I say, 2025, one of the biggest opportunities I see are teams and brokerages. It has a lot to do with the NAR changes and the lawsuits and everything that we saw change in our industry in 2024. So 100%. That is why we're having so many conversations with brokerages. Just the climate of the real estate market that we're in. They want to be with a brokerage that understands that, or that they know that we understand where this industry is going. We understand the changes. There was one brokerage I was talking to Leo the other day. One brokerage he was talking to, and they're talking, bringing his brokerage over, and Leo said, so do you use the forms that EXP wrote? And we made them public, right, for everyone to use. And the guy just kind of laughed and shook his head and he said, yeah, I do. And, Leo's like, well, come over because, like we're leading the way. So every step of this, and it's actually pretty funny. We don't actually hear a lot about, agents talking about all of the different changes anymore. We did as, that the NAR deadline was approaching to make changes to buyer agent commission and everything. But now it's kind of settled down on the agent side. We don't hear agents talking about it. What we do hear a lot are brokerages talking about it, right? Because brokerages are the ones that are still trying to find their way, especially the ones that had their head down. We're just closing transactions, we'll deal with the changes when we have to, and now they have to. And they're not prepared to change the way that they've done business for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, right? And so partnering with a brokerage that is absolutely leading the way, that's extremely powerful for them. And I don't know if I answered your question.
You have, and wonderfully, but Susan, there's one other aspect. Mm-hmm. The most important individual of all is the client. And at least in my market, we're starting to hear clients ask questions, and agents are next. We talked about from the NAR training and the realtor training and company training how to discuss it, but really to get at the heart of clients want to understand. And I think some of the direction, and I'll say that it freaked everybody out when EXP first said we ain't going to have offer co-op from the listing side to the buyer side. But that's the way the industry is actually going in general. So EXP took a chance and went out there early. Now, I'm not saying, talking about how good we are, but really having that heart in the understanding the conversation with the consumer and really emphasizing that what we do is really have a strong relationship of deep understanding between our clients and ourselves. Something like that, I think, could be very powerful.
And what state are you in, John?
California.
Okay. So I don't know what all of the different states do from a state level. I would suggest if that training isn't available on a state level and you think it should be, reach out to your state broker team, or I'll be happy to connect you and pass along that message too. But if that's something that we need and is not being offered in your state, well, let's talk to the right people who can get that done.
Thank you, Susan.
You're welcome.
Terrific. Thank you, Susan and John. Dennis Goodhart, you're up.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Susan, thank you very much. Very informative. Have a question though. I work with Michael Levy. and I am looking to help him recruit brokers, not just agent, but full brokers and teams. So a lot of the same questions that were asked, I'm experiencing. Do you have, or is there a template, let's say, for the type of brokers that we should or could be going after that seem to be more successful than just, randomly calling brokers?
Independent brokers. Any independent brokers, I will tell you. And obviously, when we talk about brokers and, we get into franchise owners and they're stuck in their franchise agreements, and then that's a gray area and all of the things that we can talk about with that. But specifically independent brokerage owners, and really any size independent brokerage owners are the places I would be spending my time in 2025.
And Dennis, so spot on there. I would definitely agree. There are incentives that EXP has been putting out, right? For the team leader, we have the Thrive program for the independent brokers or those who are out of a franchise agreement. We have the Boost program, and so for even heavy hitting agents, we have the Accelerate program. Those are 3 words that you want to go back to work chat. Just search those keywords, and you can really learn about it for the newer folks who's on here with us, right? And then your group is brand new. You might not have heard about all that. So
great point, Tom.
All right, good stuff. And we're always available for you as well. Go ahead, Dick Lee.
Trying to take everything in.
Yeah, yes, sir. It is a lot, Dennis. Dick Lee, go ahead. We got 3 minutes left. Go ahead, Dick.
Guys, what I would say is, the conversations that I'm having are with team leaders, and it's a slower conversion. They're not going to come over like this. It just doesn't happen. It's a long discussion, 3 months, 6 months, sometimes 3 years or longer. So my recent conversations is happy holidays. Hope everything's going well. I would love to sit down with you and qualified team leaders to have a mastermind on how you plan to grow your business and what are the shortcomings that you're happy that you're coming through and you're experiencing. And they're going to open up to you because they want to learn what I'm doing. So those are the conversations that I'm having without dropping the 3 letters. They can look me up and see where I'm at. But I'm having qualified conversations with team leaders about masterminding on how they are growing their business, because I want to learn from them. And as I listen, because we have 2 ears, right? As we listen to what their pain points are, that's when they're going to open up and they're going to say, well, what are you doing here to grow your business? And when they ask the questions, we're there to answer some of the questions, because we have Susan and Tom and everybody else to help us with that.
I love it.
That's it.
Okay. Guys, I've got to hop off for my next one. Thank you so much for having me.
Susan, thank you very much for being here.
Some workplace chat messages from you guys. Appreciate all of you, and I will respond to all of those messages. I promise.
Susan, thank you. Happy holidays to you.
You too.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks, Susan.
All right, guys, let's close it out. So for those who jumped on later, my opening line was this. You guys are going to be around, all of us going to be around our friends, our family, our closest ones this holiday season. And my opening basically says, hey, we don't listen to the people who are closest to us. Yet when we go out to the streets and we hear somebody else say something, then it starts to resonate with us. And why is that? It's because we, take it for granted for those who are closest to us about what they're saying. So my holiday wish for you is to spend some quality time with your friends, your family, with fellow real estate professionals. And since this is an agent attraction call, please listen to them. Please listen between the lines and try to figure out what the pain points are, what they really want for Christmas, what they want for the new year, how you might be able to help them improve, and try to help them. Really just make a friend, make more friends, reconnect with those closest to you, and enjoy your holidays, everybody. For those who are coming back in 1 hour, we are doing EXP Explained in 1 hour on the same channel. It's our last live Zoom EXP Explained for 2024. And then we pick it back up the first Tuesday again of January, which is January 7th. The first Tuesday, we do Power Hour again on this channel, this same time. And then an hour afterwards, we do EXP Explained. Everyone, have a great day and have a great holiday season. Love you guys all.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, everyone.
Thank you.